Okay. Ooh. Let's see here. Okay. Ooh. Okay. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another edition of VTubing My Slow Life Hobbies in My 30s. My name's Sugi Yamagawa, and today we're back at the campfire again, and we're gonna be cooking lasagna for the first time. So I am really excited about this. It's been a little while since we've been around the campfire because it's been very snowy, very icy, and just really winter. Not really great weather for being around a fire. And there was a reveille. That was a little while ago, though. So, all that fun stuff. Also, I would like to apologize once again for delaying stream. At this time yesterday, my location on the rotation was experiencing a really bad case of rain, and the fire and rain don't play nice with each other. So, had to push it back a day, and here we are. I got a good fire going. Honestly, so I was doing a reasonably okay job getting ready for like stream and everything, but I did get a little bit delayed because I had a friend called me and he asked me a whole bunch of questions about some problems he was having at the house, like how to fix stuff. So just like, I need to get ready for stream and all that fun stuff. And so I ended up being a little bit delayed, but hey, we got a good. I've got a pretty good fire. It's just for some of the stuff we're going to be doing today, I really need to make sure this like really well, the firewood really like burns down, because right now I can't use this with my large cast iron Dutch oven that I just got. Another reason why I'm really excited for it is today's gonna be the day I finally break in Dutch oven. Been a long time. Well, it hasn't been long. Been like had it for like a little bit over a month. So yeah, I'm probably just gonna like gap and chill a little bit here. Poke at this fire because I would like this to cook down a little. The word I want, spicy, or even doing the skillet work, which we're actually going to be starting here, skillet, and we're going to actually just go from there. So it's over. If I can, I hope I can. I'm optimistic. I'm just going to also just blast myself with ooh, but yeah, yeah, it's actually real nice to be around the campfire again and on stream and stuff and be making a recipe, and also to do so in, as you can see, it's nighttime, it's dark, it's nice, it's cozy, but yeah, it's not like sun blinding my face, which is how things were last time. So I'm really excited to be doing this at night. It's been a little, so say at least a month. I'm not entirely sure, but whatever. So I hope everyone out there is having an absolutely wonderful work week. We have survived the work week, everything, and we should all have a relaxing weekend ahead of us. Maybe except for me. I had a friend of mine earlier today, like 2 hours ago, he hit me up and was like, "Hey Sugi, do you want to like do invasive removal work tomorrow?" And I was like, I have nothing planned, so sure. I'll show up and remove bush honeysuckle with you tomorrow. So, and that's how I have plans. Because what I'm trying to do here lot of my fire on one side. Having that fire make coals. This is actually where most of our early actions happen. I don't need, so we're going to be starting off by making the sauce for the lasagna. Straightforward. It's nothing really all that complicated. So, but I definitely need to have it cooler of a work area on the fire pit than here with the flame. Here with the flame, this is way too much fire. This isn't good for the meat and the sauce and all that good stuff. We wanna have a cooler area. We wanna have like a cooler area here, have some coals, and just have like a. So I'm gonna just kind of like chill because I think things are a little toasty right now. Kind of like I want everything to burn down. Because if it burn down a little bit more, we're gonna have like a better work area. Also, preparing the meat sauce is not gonna take very long. I expect it will take 10 minutes tops, which is not long. And I need this wood to really burn down. I've got a piece in here, which I probably should have moved off to the side in hindsight. I got a piece right here. I would like that to really burn down quite a bit before we really get into things, because I have like coals and like I honestly need coals because I need to put coals on top of the Dutch oven so that way it kind of cooks it from top down. We're gonna be waiting a little bit. Here, we're gonna get tonight and the stream started off right with a Kirkland Lager. I think I should flip that. Something. I don't know. At least it's at the point where you can read it. Earlier, that was not in a position where you could read it. Embarrassingly so. On a certain clip of mine on the channel. But cheers, everyone. We made it through a work week. Survived. Everything's going to be all right. Granted. Oh, I should have. Well, honestly, I should talk about that later. One of the fun things about making lasagna is the lasagna needs to cook for like an hour, which is going to take a little. So during that, I'm going to talk about some stuff I was planning in my IRL life. And yeah, fun stuff. Whoa! Hey, smoke, please. Oi, oi, oi. Please do not come at my... Thing is very much wanting to come at my face right now. But yeah. I mean, we're looking pretty good. But oh, I'm gonna give Rockadoodle some pokes. Just a lot like what my grandpa would do. So we've got a rebar. Glove. Well, wrong hand of glove. And grill. Right. Which honestly, I'm super glad I found this thing. For those who don't know, earlier in some of my like streams and such, I was using like a thinner wire grill grate. And then I found this stuff lying in my propane grill because the small grill grate I was using earlier, that one was it was buried under snow. That was for campfire. That was for the ravioli stream. I'm a little bit embarrassed about because I had a little bit too many of the beers beforehand, and I was anything but at 100% during that stream. So we're going to go ahead and get started and throw our skillet on and start letting that heat up. Make sure I start having all my stuff that's going to go in. So I'm going to go ahead and add a wee bit of olive oil to the pan. Hello, welcome in. Welcome in, Siloy Jose. But yeah, we're still very much in like the early prep stages of, well, we're in the early prep stages of the meat sauce for the lasagna. So I just threw my skillet on. I'm letting it heat up. I am slowly getting my ingredients together. I pre-diced all the onion. And then I have a cooler behind me that has a package of ground beef. And there's a package of ground beef. So, but yeah, just doing a little bit of yapping, letting the fire kind of burn down a little bit because it's a little too hot right now for me to be working with and all that fun stuff. So, and also just kind of like reflecting on the week, which I certainly hope people have been having a better week. Well, a better week than my hand. I've gotten numerous hand cuts and injuries this week, which is funny because also some of my coworkers have also gotten like hand injuries as well. Nothing major, nothing requiring hospitalization, but like lots of cuts and scrapes and stuff that you do have to put bandages on. Thankfully, it's all stuff that you can just take care of with first aid, but there's been a lot of cuts this week. Oh yeah. So right now, I wait for it. Meantime, I should actually. I need a knife for this plastic wrap. Yay! The obnoxiously large knife. Well, it's not actually an obnoxiously large knife. It's this is actually a knife that's a bit closer to a flax, is what it is. Well, what I think it is. Because it is this much blade, but all this handle. It has a very weird amount of blade to handle ratio. Like, there's probably like twice as much handle as there is blade on this tool. I don't know why my grandma had this. Which I got that from my grandma. Because she moved a few months ago? Like, I think it was like back in September when she moved. And she was basically like downsizing all her stuff, and she actually had like a whole set of utensils. Like the spatula, for instance. Really nice spatula. I love it. And she was basically garage sailing a whole bunch of stuff. And I was like, I would love to have a set of utensils exclusively for like my campfire cooking streams. So I basically asked for these and she gave them to me. I was like, yeah, score. Free, nice quality stuff. Also kind of funny. I didn't realize this like right away when I got it, but this spatula has a bottle opener. Which there's been a couple of times where I've actually had to use a bottle opener, and I was like, darn it, I don't have a bottle opener nearby, not realizing there was one built into the spatula. So, that was fun. But yeah. Right now, I'm enjoying a Kirkland lager, and I'm waiting for oil. Actually taking longer than I thought. It's heating up slowly, but it's getting there. It's getting there. We're real close. I want to make sure. I don't want to keep the onions from getting way too warm. So, ooh, wait, I can talk about my. So for this recipe calls for lean ground beef. So I'm using 15% fat to 85% protein. This is like the mid-grade ground beef. There's higher grades which supposedly are better for lasagna, but I didn't want to use those because those are also more expensive. This was like the reasonable cost option for me, which I think this was like $7 USD. So I was like, okay, this is in my budget. The other stuff, not so much. But enough of this. I think this pan's hot enough. I'm going to throw this in and work. Sizzles, it's warm. Ooh. Yeah. We have ourselves a very lovely sizzle. So I'm going to go ahead and work to break this ground. Hey now, don't go away from me. I'm also going to be turning this pan. One of the reasons for me turning the pan is that the area closer to this wood, it's going to be warmer. Whereas the area closer to me is going to be a little bit cooler. And I want to distribute the heat evenly as I can. Ooh, it's browning up nicely. So yeah, we're going to work on getting this meat browned, cooked through, all that fun stuff. It's going to be the current focus. Yeah, that's looking good. This is good. Let's see here. Wipe off spatula. We'll let that sit for a little bit. Meantime, go ahead and hit black pepper. Black pepper. And I have kosher salt. And it gets a half a teaspoon of kosher salt. And that I am going to hit this with the onion. All the onion. Recipe calls for 1 whole yellow onion, which I pre-diced before stream. Because today's cooking is going to take a little while. Because of the length of time it's going to take to cook, I really wanted to make sure. Wow. Sizzling's really died down. To me, which tells me that the skillet's really cooled down. So, I'm gonna grab my fire poker. Start shifting things a bit closer to where, you know, I said towards the heat. Granted, I can also bring some of the heat. That's one of the fun things with a fire is you can actually, not really all that hard to like really manipulate the heat. Just gotta like manipulate your wood and your coals to get the right heat output you want. Historically here, ooh, sorry about that. Historically, I've actually been slightly on the cool side, which is good because if I'm too warm or, well, too hot, I will burn food. And I really do not wish to burn food. So for now, give this a good stir. And basically, we're going to aim to cook the onion, brown the ground beef. I am definitely looking a little weak on it. I am going to manipulate my skillet in such a way to get the heat I need. Granted, this fire is actually looking reasonably well. Not like super hot, but it's not super cold either. So good, very good. Definitely. I mean, I've done all right with a lot of my past like cooking escapades. I think right now the greatest limiting factor in my campfire cooking is actually this. So, this little table you see here, this is actually like this is a small piece of plywood on top of cinder blocks. So, it's, as you can see, it's not a super stable work surface, and it is exceedingly difficult for me to work with dough on. That was one of the big weaknesses in the ravioli stream. was it was physically difficult for me to like work the dough on my cook surface, because my cook surface is just unstable. So if I'm like really trying to like roll dough and stuff, it's really hard for me to like really work it. So at some point I'm gonna have a better work surface. When? I don't know. But it's firmly in the eventually category. Actually, one of my plans for next week, from a streaming perspective, is I want to build a table casters for the stream station. So this is my primary working table for my ingredients, my primary cooking area, all that fun stuff. But all my streaming equipment plus ingredients is on a separate table that's close by. It's like right next to me. I actually have these in like an L configuration. So like you see this here, the other table is here, and it goes back. Hey now. And I want... Fuck you. Not quite like that, but we're gonna live with that. Because I have to. But yeah. We're just chillaxing. And making meat sauce. Like it's actually really... I'm actually starting to get the like levels of heat that I need for my stuff here. I definitely still have quite a bit of pink in my ground beef, which is undesirable, but fine for, because yeah, I got find all. Now at some point I am gonna have, because I actually have like a large piece of firewood, roughly about where my firewood manipulating tool is. I'm gonna have to like manipulate that out of the way when it comes time for us to build the lasagna. Because once this is done, I'm gonna take this, I'll probably set it off to this roughly over in this general area, because there will be enough heat to keep it warm, but not so much heat to burn it. So it should be like a real nice equilibrium point. And then we'll build, and I'll put the Dutch oven up here, and we'll start prepping the, well, the funny thing with the lasagna is, build it. You don't just like straight cook it. It's like you like prepare your ingredients, then you have your lasagna. correction. You take your ingredients and you assemble your lasagna. which I think is interesting because it's a lot like my favorite recipe, which is straw hats, which I have also done that. But I know it. So one of my main goals with a lot of these campfire cooking streams is to challenge myself to learn new recipes. That's what I'm doing today with the lasagna. But I also do occasionally remake favorites. For example, birthday stream, I redid Hoto Ofu, which was like one of my really early things I made over the fire pit, but it was also one of my favorite things I made last year, which is why I did it for the birthday stream. But I will, at some point, I will do another Straw Hat stream. It's not going to be anytime soon. If anything, probably late April, maybe. I don't know. I have no idea. I have no idea when I'm doing things. I'm just flying. I'm just flying by the seat of my pants. I don't have much in terms of like goals in which like 2 months out, this is when I will be streaming, or like 3 months out, this is what I'll be streaming. I have no idea. I'm just tackling projects as they come up and doing things as I go, ooh, that's an idea. Granted, I can say for sure, one stream I'll probably be doing in April. This is going to be an ambitious stream, but it's one I really want to do, and that's the gardening stream. I actually want to do a stream where I'm gardening in my raised beds at the front of my homestead. I really, 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 really want to do that. I am a long way. I mean, we're a little ways away from that as like a seasonal thing, but that is eventually going to happen. But that is a thing I really want to make happen. As I really want to do like more like gardening stuff. Actually, speaking of gardening stuff, I have received. I not only have received, but I have also been doing some testing with my new camera. And one of the things I want to use this camera for is I also want to use it to like shoot video for projects. I have this week confirmed that it will talk to my computer. It's actually a big deal for me because I did order a camera earlier, and that camera could not talk to my computer because I bought too late of a generation of. Because there are, so I bought a Panasonic Lumix something, and some of the cameras in that line could talk to computers, others couldn't. And mine was the one I purchased was a little bit too late, so I unfortunately had to return that. This is actually sounding really nice. So probably gonna let this ground beef cook for, and it's looking pretty good too. So I'm gonna let this cook for 1 more minute, and then after that, I think I'll pull it off to this. Well, I actually gotta stir in my marinara sauce. I've been letting heat up next to the campfire right here, or at least the recipe calls for me adding it to the skillet. So what I'll probably do is I'll probably pull the skillet off to the side, and then I'll add the marinara sauce and just kind of like the residual heat of the pan warm up the marinara sauce, because I really don't want this to cook too much. I just want to warm it up, get it nice and toasty. Then at that point, we can start assembling the lasagna. Oh, don't fall off, please. Thank you. Oi, oi. Okay. This is looking pretty good. I've also kind of made some changes to my streaming setup, so I'm actually more outside now. Historically, my fire pit would literally be on the edge of my garage. And doing these streams would just make my house reek of campfires, which sucked. But now I don't have that problem because it's a bit further. So take this side. Take this. Take my sauce. Sauce in. Or at least a good chunk. Not all of it, but a fair amount of it. Stir in. This is going to complete the meat sauce. Today's recipe. Get on my phone, and we're going to go. Pretty sure we can start assembling the lasagna, but I really want to make sure I haven't forgotten any steps. Assemble the meat. Assemble the meat sauce. Yep. Okay. Actually gonna set aside. You can go over there. Oh my god. Wowzers, the lid is heavy on this thing. And here it is, chat. A whole lot of cast iron skillet. This is where we're going to assemble our lasagna. I'm going to add some marinara sauce. Lasagna. Well, to the skillet. And I'm going to make a real thin coating of the marinara sauce. This is going to be like layer 1. It's going to be like a base layer. Ooh. Wowzers. That cast iron is stout. Okay, so. Sauce. Yep, done that. And layer. Okay. Then mozzarella. Okay. So package of lasagna noodles. So I do have a problem. That is, I have very rectangular lasagna noodles, whereas I have a very round bowl. So I think I'm gonna on the outside. Ooh yeah. Take one of the. Try and split in half. One will go there. One will go on the other side. And that actually looks pretty good. Happy with that. So. Now I want to double check and make sure I get layering right. Pretty sure it's. So the layering for the lasagna is going to be a layer of noodles. It's going to be ricotta cheese. It's going to be meat sauce and then mozzarella. So, let me go over here. And this cheese. Yay. Ricotta cheese. I never cooked with ricotta cheese, although I do know that pizza that has this stuff in it Like, really good. Ooh. Okay. Really creamy cheese. Neat. A hearty spoonful. And I'm just going to be breaking it up. Bottom of my pan. Spreading it out. Because that's what the instructions say. Take a big wallop of it and spread it out. Okay. This. And, ooh, yeah. Get more spread. Spread. Susan, thank you. Jeez. If this is too cool. Normally things like flow a little bit better when they're like warm, you know? Okay. Oh, decent. Also, this thing has got a food. All up. A little bit more of the cheese. That done. Oh. Oh, sorry about the light disruption. That is my security light just went off, which it a mind of it comes to me doing stuff like that. Is sometimes it's on, sometimes it's not. Go ahead and call up sauce in here. And then spoon, spread out a layer of meat sauce. Layer of the meat sauce is gonna be the ricotta cheese. So far, so good. And then next up is mozzarella. We're just gonna. And the cool thing with this is we can literally just sprinkle this in. So I'm just gonna go kind of a thin, light layer. Also, so this is my one change to the recipe. That's gonna be Parmesan. And I'm just gonna, with my mozzarella layer, just gonna sprinkle some Parmesan in. Just so that way I can call this a 3 cheese. Cheese. That is a layer done. Also, I do want to make my layers. Layer noodles. And then rinse and repeat this process for all the way through. So, noodles, ricotta cheese, and please not an unhealthy amount of wood smoke, please. Thank you. Carpet, cooperate. Granted, I am getting excited over how much like food this is gonna be. I am going to have so much food at the end of this. It's gonna be glorious. Be truly glorious. Okay. I don't know how many layers I'm gonna. I mean, I have a fair amount of like ingredients. Right now, we got 1, we got 2. Sauce is gonna be factor in the amount of food I'm gonna eventually have. So, what I'm gonna have, we're gonna do a layer here, and then we'll eventually do a final. It's actually building up to a reasonably deep. Actually have a chunk of ground beef. Part of it. Pull it apart and it very brown. Very well thoroughly cooked. Does it know? It is going to get cooked. Now we got our meat sauce and cheese. Cheese. Sweet, wonderful, glorious cheese. I am an ultra fan of cheese. I am one of cheese's biggest fans. Did it with them. And we will do this. There will be like this because I want to alternate the direction of my that out because we got that busted. There, and there. Our final-ish layer. So I'm throwing quite the fair amount of ricotta cheese. Sure, I get it. You stop. Get a little bit more over on this side of the world. Blah, blah, blah. Fun. Dog goes bark, bark, bark. There's a lot of dogs barking in my right now. I am trying to be a little bit speak uppy, and I think they hear me, and they're like, "Boy, human, you're doing human things. Did you get a dog permit?" I'm like, no, not get a dog permit. I don't need a dog permit. I am a land-owning American. I can do what I want on my own property when I want because good old freedom and stuff. Us. Ooh. Okay, that is. Very smoky. Ooh. Use my fork to basically get the residuals. Really like to get as much as I can out of my fillet. Makes cleanup easier too. Well, sorry. Makes cleanup easier too. Do things like Skillet's done. Then I need to grab my spoon. I'm gonna spread out this meat sauce. Okay, now check my instructions. How the final layer goes. That, yep. Final layer. Spreading sauce. Covers and baking. So I was kind of right thinking about order of operations here. This is basically it for the layering. past this is not going to be good. And I am try some of this marinara sauce. Ooh, it is good marinara sauce. Funny, like all the recipes online recommended using like really like expensive brands of marinara sauce, and I basically went for the mid-tier brand for day. I am going to use this. I need this in a food safe area. It is in a food area now. Plate off to the side. And I need to grab... Oh. We have finished assembling the lasagna. So I'm going to decover my lasagna. It is now time. Fire pit. Or this. Okay. That was a... But... Wait. Hey. That happened. Right here, which I think I'm good. I think I'm good. Ooh. Back in dark times again. Not bother doing it the way up. The only issue I have now is when I said I may not be able to shovel coals. That's my... Just temporarily set you up. I would love. Okay. Here's what I'm going to do to maximize my chances of... I'm going to grab my shovel. Shovel full of coals. There. And on top. This. Manipulate. Inside the hole. Actually. I prepared a better tool for this. A smaller shovel, more wieldable. Dump. Get it's here. Let all that sit on top of the Dutch oven. And that's actually how a Dutch oven works, is basically take coals and you set them on top. And basically what's going to happen is I have heat being provided by the sides here. And I got the coals on top, and that's providing heat from the bottom. And it's basically a is a cast iron container that gets heat from all four sides, all the like top, bottom, and the sides. Firewood on. And that side of the world. I should have threw it on that side of the world. Get it. Oh. Hi, brightly. There we go. Cool. So this log has now kind of burnt down and such. A little bit closer to being like made out of coals and such. That side will go there. But yeah. That is setting the lasagna for cooking. Whoa! A lot of work. A lot of work, but hopefully this will be worth it. And I threw that in at around 55 minutes into stream. So the fun part now, well, at least for me, is that cooks for an hour. Granted, that cooks for an hour in a preheated oven. The Dutch oven was not preheated, so yeah. And I'm also thinking, like long term with this fire in my cooking process, is I'm gonna have a lot of fire here on this side of the world. This side of the Dutch oven is gonna get really warm because of all of the like heat this is giving them. So if I'm getting a lot of heat from here over this way, I'll probably be better off turning it maybe every 15 minutes. I'm just smacking this wood around a little bit to see if I can get any coals to come off. Because the more coals I have to work with, the better. Because, as I've said, historically I've been a little cool, and I want to make sure I am warmer than that. So, for now, we're going to let this sit, and this is going to sit for quite some time. Like over an hour. But I'm trying to think. I think I'm going to let this cook. I think I will go ahead and let this cook for the full hour, just because this is not a preheated like dish or even like really oven. Like we're in nature. Okay. We're cooking to the whims of nature here. So definitely got some hinting factors over there, just so that way I have a really good source of heat, because I have so one thing that's happened in the past with some of my streams, especially these campfire cooking ones, is my fire has died down, and the basically what happens is when my fire dies down, I don't get like a super good cook. So I'm gonna go ahead and keep adding fire, well, wood there. That's gonna keep like, it's gonna throw a lot of heat towards the side. So I'm beginning to think I might rotate this every 5 minutes, just because there's so much heat coming from one side. Well, not every 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Sorry about that. But hopefully we can get a really even cook. Because otherwise, if I were to just leave this, let this sit like this, chances are I could foresee an uneven cook. But hey, I'm also doing this for the first time, and this is the first time I'm cooking in a Dutch oven in the fire. So, but this is also lasagna, so it's kind of like a thing you build, then cook it and let it sit and let it do its thing. Okay, so lager done. First, I have a couple sips of water, and then I'll work on, and then I'll grab my second, and then we'll talk about some stuff. Oh, hey phone, that on you. Okay. Time for beer number 2. And also time to engage in a yap session. Go. Oh boy. Sorry about that. I'm just trying to I'm just trying to get cozy. Because this is gonna take a while. I mean, at first I was like, hell yeah, lasagna. It sounds good, it sounds delicious, it's gonna be nutritious also. It's got ground beef in it, and I'm eligible to give blood on the 5th of next month. So I want to make sure I have a little extra of that iron in. But all that aside, when I found out that it was going to take like an hour to cook, I was like, oh, okay, well, I better bring a good yap session, which is kind of the reason why I'm having these. I'm gonna hold, and the beer's gonna be off to the side because anything that's been set here before in the past has warmed up quite a bit. Ooh. I can hear it cooking. Man, like things are cooking in there. Cool. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Great, I think I'm actually gonna go ahead and poke this up because I want a little bit less heat. I want to have a bit more of a gap between these two. Because since I hear it cooking now, it's good. It's gonna just, ideally I don't want to like be fiddly with it, but I just wanted to let it do its thing. But oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. This is going to be fun. This is going to be fun. I am. This is the thing I'm really excited to see how it turns out. Also, I would really like to have a redemption arc because the campfire ravioli definitely turned out firmly in mid-tier. So, I'd like to have a, yes, this is good again. I'd like to have a victory. Certainly hoping I get that today. But yeah. But at the very least, I'm able to enjoy these for now. Glorious beer, the substance that makes all men happy. Okay, so just gonna kind of like get cozy here, and we're gonna let this fire do its thing. And I'm pretty much just gonna yap about like various topics and such. So. Actually, I'm gonna just randomly yap for a bit because I'm looking at my timer here and I'm thinking because I am almost a minute up from spinning this. And what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna pick it up by the little handle with my fire manipulation tool. I love my fire manipulation tool. And I'll just give it a nice little spin. That way I can hopefully get a more even cook, because as you can see, my fire is putting out a lot of heat in this area and on this side. Well, the far side. And I want to make sure I get as even as a cook as I can. So we'll see what I get. I mean, lasagna seems pretty foolproof. It just seems like make sure you do the right prep and such. I kind of wish I had a little bit more marinara sauce in there. I'm sure everything I put in there is going to cook down. Hey, Flame, you're like awful close. You have to do that? Please don't have to do. Ooh. Oh boy, oh boy. That's a lot of flame right there. Brandon, one of the fun things I love to think about is I'm probably the one VTuber who has streamed the most around an open fire, like an actual open fire. Because there's a lot of people who'll do like the campfire wooded area for like cozy ASMR or reading streams, which are good streams. Don't get me wrong, but like being around an actual fire pit, that's me. That's my niche, man. I am the VTuber who cultivates fire and has split firewood on stream. Granted, that stream ended up being a little awkward because I actually did that in my shop. And the thing is about splitting firewood in my shop is it was awkward because I didn't have enough like room above my head to do like full swings of my axe. So it is time to spin this. Ooh, actually, you know what? I'm gonna try and do this a smarter way. Rather than just hook it with the tool, I'm gonna hook the tool to get the wire up, and then I'm gonna get in here and I'm gonna see if I can't give it a good spin. Then bada bang, bada boom. And a fistful of smoke. Oh. And a face full of smoke. We got it spun. So, yeah. Yeah. I'm excited. Like, if I see like a amount of like fresh coals pile up over there, I'm gonna add some coal. Got some pretty healthy coals here on top of this. I'm more than happy to let the coals do their work. So we'll just let that do its thing for now. And also cheers, by the way. Okay. We're at baking the lasagna for 1 hour. And I'll just yap about it. Okay. So, biggest thing that's happened to me in the past week is at one point in time, I was seriously planning on and expecting to do an insulation upgrade for my home this year. I was budgeting for it, all that good stuff. Well, I actually talked about this to my boss, and my boss was like, hey, at a certain point, additional amounts of insulation don't do you much good. I was like, okay, boss. Because right now I have roughly R23 levels of insulation in my home. And I wanted to upgrade it. I wanted to have more. I want to have a high performing home, man. Like, I'm a proud homeowner. Even though I'm pretty sure some of my neighbors don't think I'm a proud homeowner by the amount of growth that I have going around the homestead, but most of that's blackberries, and blackberries are very edible. But yeah, back to insulation. So I told them about my plans to level up my insulation, because right now I have about R22, R23 levels of insulation in my attic, and I'm mostly focusing on my attic insulation for like this project. And my boss was like, well, at a certain point, you really don't benefit a lot from additional levels of insulation. Ooh. Okay, so I think you guys can actually see what's happening here. Sorry, I'm going to pause the insulation story for a little bit because, we're getting jets of flame from the end of this log, which I'm sure you guys can see. So these jets of flame you're seeing from the end of this log, what that is wood gasification happening in real life. So there's a lot of materials in wood that actually generate, well, you can generate a substance called wood gas. Generally speaking, to make wood gas, you burn wood in a low oxygen environment, and then you pipe the gas off, and you can burn it later. Occasionally, when you're burning firewood, you'll get a very like Bunsen burner type flame happening at the end of your log, which this was doing that for quite some while, quite vigorously. And that's actually that's like wood gas forming. It's escaping out through the xylem cells in the wood, and they are instantaneously combusting because of like all the heat and stuff. And as you can see, the end of log has stopped. That's because usually when you're burning like a log like this, you will have spurts of wood gasification. But what we were seeing earlier was like a really big spurt of wood gasification. Which is the reason why I took it aside to talk about that, because I'm like, ooh, that's a cool thing. That's like a really good visual. And then as you can see, the end of that log has fell. And I sincerely hope it fell off into the fire pit. Granted, there is nice, solid driveway concrete under here. I'm going to give that a tap. Because I can. Okay, so back to insulation story. So boss man was like, yeah, at a certain level, more insulation doesn't really do you a whole lot. Is I'm sitting around R23 levels of insulation. The U.S. Department of Energy recommends R38 for where I live for attic insulation. So I was like, okay, here's what this guy's saying. Here's what a government agency says. I need a source of data that's neither one of these two. So I went looking at, I poked around at the internet, and I wanted to find a chart that charted on one axis the levels of insulation you have, and then on another axis the amount of energy it takes to heat and cool the home. And what I was most interested in was the curve, because depending on what the curve looks like is going to determine my decision here. And it turns out the shape of that curve is a reverse hockey stick. So at really low levels of insulation, you're using a lot of energy to heat and cool your home. But as you start going up from like R2 to R4, that drops off really fast. And then it just kind of like levels off in like a really slowly declining curve. And I looked at this information and I was like, okay, I'm sitting here. I was eyeing like R38, R50, depending on like the cost of insulation and such. I kind of looked at where that would get me. I was like, you know what? Boss man's right. There are true energy savings. There are definitely good things here. But upgrading my insulation really isn't going to save me a lot of money. And at one point in time, I was considering upgrading to rock wool insulation, which is like really pricey stuff. Yeah. And, well, to upgrade, so to go get to R50 rock wool insulation, I was looking at having to spend like $4,500. And I was kind of considering doing that. But after looking at this new data, I'm like, you know what? I don't have to. I'm going to be fine. Everything's going to be okay. I'm going to have a reasonably well-performing home, and everything's going to be good. So yeah, that's kind of like my big understanding I gained this past week was, hey, having the insulation I have is just good enough, and that's fine. I was really excited about that. Because here's a project that I was budgeting a few $1,000s for. And I'm like, and I seriously looked at it and was like, I don't need to do that. So I have a lot more free room in my budget going into this year, which is good for this because this means more money for projects. And I want to do some more projects. I want to do a lot of stuff. Some stuff is more ambitious than others. Ooh, okay. I got it. Get up here. I'm gonna spin. We must spin the Dutch oven. Oven. Ooh. Atsui. Totemo atsui. I want to do some poking. Poke my fire. Poke my fire, man. Woo! This like really good chunk. Well, coals. Not sure if I want to stick that on top or not. Because I am getting a pretty good glow. I think I'm just going to let all this continue to do its thing. Because we are now 20 minutes into our cook, and I still think we have a lot of heat here. We're doing really well. Well, we have a lot of current heat and a lot of future heat. So. Cheers. But yeah. I'm going to have a pretty good budget. Have the ability to do a lot of stuff. My lumber reserves right now are looking a little thin. Don't have the greatest amount, but I have an okay amount. I actually have enough for builds going into next week, which I do know I want to build a cart for my streaming setup for these campfire cooking streams, and it's also just gonna be like a low table that's gonna be on wheels. It's actually gonna be real nice to have like a low table on wheels, because right now I have my workbench on wheels, I have my table saw stand on wheels, caster specifically. So I have those, and they're great for what I use them for. But it would be nice to have a low table. And that's pretty much my vision for this project, is it will give me another place to assemble builds. Because I have assembled builds on like high workstations, and depending on the build, can be an absolute nightmare. So I really want to avoid that if I can. Oi. Oh man. So I'm really looking forward to that. I was thinking of doing 2 woodworking projects next week, and I cannot think of any of them. Well, I can think of the one, but I can't think of the second one I wanted to do. Because I know at some point, ooh, we're getting some wood gasification happening at the end of this log. Oh, yeah. Oh, so bright flame. That's wood gas. And then eventually the amount of wood gas being produced will like drop off. And then the flame will flicker out like that. Flame back on. So it's off. And boom, on. Wood gasification. Happening in IRL time. I really... Oh. So, I would love... Not sure how I'll do this. Not sure my game plan for this. But I would love to make a wood gasifier on stream. And use it. Oh, sorry. But, I mean, the idea of doing a wood gasifying thing here on the channel would be super fun. You can... I know there's a British individual by the name of Colin Fuse who I think he made a wood gasified lawnmower, which was cool. But I just think it would be fun to just play around with wood gasification. Because you can actually get, like, depending on, like, the wood you're burning, you can actually, like, extract some, like, really useful materials, like turpentine and pitch, which are good for things. Projects. Oh, yeah. I'm looking at a pretty healthy project budget going into this year, so I'm really excited. I feel like I have done a reasonably good job at getting better at what I'm doing. Even though I saw an infographic on the former Bird app that was going around, and it was showing like streamers and like how long they stream before they quit. And I'm at the point where I've been doing it longer than 7 months, but I've been doing it for like 7 months consistently. And at like the point where I'm at now, like 75% of people stop. I was just like, how do people think you're going to get good at being a streamer like instantly? Like, I have a lot of room for improvement for doing the stuff I do. And I genuinely want to get like better at this. Even though if I'm being 100% honest, I generally think like the future of this channel is going to be more in like long form content. Because I think some of the various things I do are just going to lend themselves better to that. Because some people might just want to figure out, hey, how do I cook lasagna over a campfire? And then I can be the guy to walk it through people in a reasonably short, well, probably like 5 some odd minute video or something. I think that's where I kind of want to start expanding. Fire coal. I want to add it top of this. I want to breathe a little bit of life top of my... Because it's funny because it looks really lit up and purpley for you people, but for me, I don't see a whole lot of like action going on, except for that one piece I literally just there. But yeah. I am not the best at doing. If I was better, probably have more of a following. But hey, I have fun doing this. And yeah, I'm gonna be real. One of my goals is to get better at the things I want to be good at. And making food over a campfire is definitely something I want to be good at. Because you don't know when the apocalypse is going to happen, and you're going to want to like make an absolutely fire lasagna. Apocalypse might happen, but I'm going to be an individual who can make a good lasagna. Or at least know some common mistakes to avoid. This is the game plan. Sorry. I had to get a sip of water in me. Because I like water. But yeah, we're almost at the halfway point here, so that's kind of exciting. At some point before we're done with the cooking of the lasagna, I'm going to hit the restroom. I don't need to go right now, but eventually I am going to need to go. Yeah. Oh yeah. Ooh, yeah. For those who saw the seed starting stream, I am going to be posting update photos late tomorrow. Because right now, right now all my brassicas except for kale. Sorry. All my brassicas except for kale have came in, and they look like they're doing quite well. I think kale's just going to be a little bit slower, and that's fine. It's fine. For my onions, I think today I was just seeing some green pop up in my seed trays. So hopefully by tomorrow afternoon, I'll have a little bit more green in my onions, and it will be a little bit more exciting to share that with everyone. But that's something I'm going to share on the social medias. I don't do a lot of sharing on YouTube on my community page, other than just my like, hey, here's when. Ooh, I need to spin this. Wait. I've got lasagna spin. Oh. Lasagna spun. It's good for another 10 minutes. Wait. Woo. Sorry about that, but yeah. I generally just post my stream schedules on my YouTube community page. I think I will make one exception coming up here soon. And that's going to be my finished headboard project. I did the headboard project a little while ago. Well, gluing up the stand for it. Yeah, that was like 2 weeks ago. Yeah. And I had some fun with that. Even though it was I had a really awkward, kind of a hard time. But end of the day, it was fun. I had fun with it. But I will share the eventual finished project once I am at that point. I'm not at that point. I actually have quite the ways to go. I have a lot of nice coals to work with here. So, yeah. About creating. Three. because I like to get a few more coals on top. Make sure I'm putting a good amount of heat into the top, because that's really where I want to have like a lot of heat radiate down, because I've got heat coming in from the sides. I shouldn't have a lot coming in from the bottom. I shouldn't. That's one of the reasons why I made like a really big effort to push a lot of coals and such this way. But I'm occasionally getting whiffs of cooked Italian food. So far, so good. I'm liking what I smell. Very much. Good. Bro, another piece of firewood. Yeah, that's okay. Okay. If it looks like it's gonna leave the fire pit, trust me, it's not. It's not. Ooh. Ooh. Looks like this log. Not the one I just threw on, but the one below it. I think we're getting some wood gasification happening. Which I just say firmly, neat. Oy, oy, ah. But yeah, I'm having a good day. And I hope everyone else out there is having a good day as well. One thing I do... Okay, so... One of my future projects is going to... Well, maybe not necessarily a project. Well, yeah, it's going to be a project, but... I want to do a lot more home maintenance videos. I think it would be the idea of a VTuber telling people how to take care of their houses. It tickles me pink. I think it would be. I personally think it would be real funny. I don't know how I don't know if you people would consider it funny or like entertaining or whatever. But for me, I'm genuinely excited by the idea. I know I'm gonna do a AC. Sorry, I am definitely gonna be doing a how to take care of your AC video, because that's actually like related to what I do for a living. So yeah, I am excited. So I want to do that. And there's a couple other things home maintenance-y that I want to do, but we'll get to those when we get to them. But for now, that's just kind of like an idea. That's another one of my like ideas bouncing around the back of my head, which is basically what I do during these times during stream when I don't have other thoughts going through my head. Is I really just think about the future a lot. Granted, that's just how I am as a person. I just think about the future. Okay, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to accomplish. All these sorts of things. So, it's a little bit into the psyche of Sugi Yamagawa. Granted, it's gonna be real funny one of these days because my neighbors are probably gonna think I'm crazy for talking to the internet in my driveway while cooking food. But hopefully, if they call me out on it, I can convince them to leave me alone with good food and also beer. Which this is almost done, but that's good. That's actually a good thing. Because we're almost at the 20-minute mark. Well, 20 minutes left in our cook. So, yeah. But, hey. I'm having fun doing what I'm doing. It would be... I'm not sure how I would do this logistically. But I would like to do a Campfire Cooking ASMR. Apparently my sister is really into some of that type of stuff. And yeah, I kind of just want to like do something like that and see what the internet thinks about it. And it's also like the funnest thing about doing what I'm doing is it's really fun to just do stuff and then sit back and think about what the internet thinks about it. But yeah, I am definitely excited for what the future holds. But yeah. Well, I almost have another spin coming up of the Dutch oven. So I think I'll just like have casual thoughts entering and exiting my brain, and yeah, we'll spin the Dutch oven in there. Oh yeah, speaking of future stuff, so one of the things that's currently allowing me to do my current setup and everything is having a longer HDMI cable for my monitor. And so since this basically allows me to like stream outside, I actually want to do a redo of the splitting firewood stream, which I don't think that's going to happen until mid to late February. But yeah, I'm gonna redo the firewood splitting stream because it was very embarrassing to find out I could not do full swings in the garage because I only have like an 8-foot tall ceiling, and when I take my axe and hold it, well, when I do like the full stance and everything, yeah, I don't have the room. Okay, we are due for a spin. Hot, very hot. But yeah, oh man. But yeah, I'm excited about the future and stuff. Even though it's definitely like a very unknown. Ooh, wait a second. Okay, I just looked up and I have to look at these stars. Which I don't have a lot of stars above me, but I do have some. But yeah, this is actually like a really good point for me to take a bathroom break. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw on the BRB screen, and I'll be right back. And I'm back. And back with another cold one. The drink of champions. So, cheers. Wow. So we got a real nice pile of holes going. Like the fact I've been strategically adding wood to generate more coals, because this is keeping my coal supply really up. Add a coal. Oh. Looks pretty. Warm, for the most part. But I really do want to make sure I keep that... I do want to keep the heat levels up, so I get a nice, like, good cook. Heaven forbid this takes longer than an hour. I'm going to be very generous with my hour, though, and make... Granted, I feel like with, like... because I feel like we're probably getting almost too much heat from the side. So I almost wouldn't be surprised if my sides end up a little bit on the crispy side and the center is a little bit undercooked. But we'll see. That's actually a big reason why I want there to be like a lot of heat on top. Because it's a lot easier for me to make sure there's a nice, even, good amount of heat coming from the top down in the Dutch oven. So, I have been talking a little bit about the Dutch oven today. But I will be really honest with you all. I don't have the highest levels of experience with this. I do have some levels of experience with the Dutch oven. Mostly my family's used them on camping trips. I think the popular thing for me and my family to make in a Dutch oven is peach cobbler. So, yeah. Granted, I haven't had a great hand in that because I'm a weirdo who likes his peaches a bit more on the raw side. Like, give me a can of peaches, let me crack it open, just go ham on it. I'll happily go ham on that. But yeah, I will. So, granted, kind of a thing to say right now is, it is actually, so the sun's been down for a little while now. Probably 2-ish hours. And it has finally cooled. So when I first started, it was definitely a little bit on the warm side as far as temperature. But now the fire's feeling really nice and cozy. Especially considering as you see, I don't have really like a whole lot of like flame going. I have a decent amount of like coals. Granted, I mean, look at all that coals. Like it's funny because it looks super bright to you guys, which I am going to be ecstatic to see. I genuinely hope things look a lot better when I upgrade the Handcam, because I do want things to look nice. Like coals looking purpley like this is the reason why I really want to make sure I have a nice webcam, because audio is very important in this. And I feel like I have firmly I'm not great when it comes to audio. A big part of that is on me from a technique perspective. Another part of it is the fact that I'm always changing. Well, my setup moves a lot. Like for today, before stream, I spent like 20 minutes moving all my setup. And granted, I have pretty standard forms, if you will. Basically, like this is where stuff goes. But yeah, it's kind of a habit right now, but not like the biggest of habits. So we're at the point where I need to give this another turn. So I'm gonna do that before I continue the thought train. Hot glove. Hot glove. Hot glove that very busted up hand. Very busted up hand. But hey, made it to the weekend. I can enjoy beers guilt-free. Granted, I'm also really looking forward to the salad here. No, not the salad, but the lasagna. The lasagna. Because, yeah, I am very ecstatic to give this a try. No? Yeah. Granted, like, one of the... Ooh, sorry about that. Granted, one of the, like, kind of the pain in the butt things about, lasagna is you're supposed to let it rest. Sorry. But yeah, you're supposed to let it rest before you like serve up, and yeah, that's gonna be an additional 15 minutes. Me being chill, which is kind of the reason why because I have a final beer set aside just for the point. Just for when we get to the point of like actually serving up the food. But for now, I grabbed a lovely Sapporo for like the time where I'm just like here yapping that stuff. Okay. So, what do I want my next conversation to be? Because I kind of talked about projects, kind of talked about the homestead, well, stuff I'm willing to do, not willing to do. I mean, I will say one of the projects that's going to happen sooner, with the installation project basically taking off the table, is getting a new garage door. Because right now, I don't know if you heard that or not, but that was me banging on my garage door. And my garage door is firmly in okay territory, but I want to get a garage door that lets more light into the shop. Because it's a shop, you know? It's where I like to spend time. And so, and also the garage door faces towards the east, and I would like to have a garage door that lets more light in, especially natural light. It would be lovely just be able to walk into the garage, the sun's rising, light is pouring in, and not just light but also warmth, because my garage has been like consistently below 60 for the past couple of weeks of how cold it's been. I'm sure that's going to improve with the weather improving, but we'll see what we get. I'm not quite sure how things are going to go, but yeah. Ooh. Not sure how I feel about that smell, but so I just caught a whiff of a slight, sorry, but of a slight burnt smell. I'm sure that's not coming from that. I'm really sure that's not coming from that because I don't think it should be. Because I can, I'm gonna give this a turn. Because we don't have a lot longer before we crack this thing open and we check on it. We don't have a lot longer. Granted, I am going to add a piece of firewood over there. Woo! Hopefully, adding that piece of firewood get a little bit more heat out of this fire. I mean, I don't want too much heat. If I get too much heat, I'm going to burn my food. I don't want to burn my food. Food is good, man. Food's good. Man, we got like hella good coals. Really great coals. Yeah, I'm letting the coals do their thing on top of the... I really think they cooled down quite a deep compared to where they were earlier. But we are nearly at the finish of the cook. Well, maybe not finish of the cook, but like we're really close to the point where I take this lid off and I see what I got. I don't have a clue what I've got underneath there. But I hope it's delicious, cheesy, and pasta-y. Ooh. Sorry about that. I keep spiking unexpectedly because I sometimes lean a little bit too close into the mic. So, my utmost apologies. Man, really, so this is kind of a bit of a side, but I'm just thinking about this now. But there's a guy who watches my stuff. His name's Sushi Nako, and he is also a VTuber. A cool guy. You should check him out on Twitch sometime. But like a long time ago, I was just talking about like some of the struggles of what I do. And it just showed a picture of like my keyboard covered in sawdust. And he's like, man, you should really buy a silicone mat for that. I finally have done it. And I've covered my keyboard with it, which this actually should not be hard to do. Kind of see the silicone cover on it. Part of me was really tempted to like message him on, well, to like tag him in the post on Twitter about it, but I'm actually just gonna wait until he pops back in the stream again. And then once he pops back in the stream, I'll be like, hey buddy, I finally did the thing you suggested like months ago. Which is actually like it's a good suggestion. Putting a silicone mat on the keyboard. That's going to help me get a lot more life out of the keyboard. Versus the nonsense of what I'm doing now. Oi, oi. Oh, man. Okay, so. We're moving in the right direction, right? I want to technically we have officially hit the 1 hour mark for the cook, but I want to be a little bit generous here because when I test, see if I have cooked through lasagna, I am going to, well, I got to prepare an area off to the side with. If I'm thinking about that now, I should probably do that. Touch the thing that should not be touched. Oi. I'm at this point. I did it. Okay. That's... So I have a... okay. So I have a scab on my finger, and the thing is, it's not the ring finger, the index finger, and occasionally, like, I'll reach for things or do things with my hand, and it will bump into the scab. I'm gonna try not to show it because I just ripped the scab off, and it's not bleeding aggressively. I'm not too worried about it from, like, a blood perspective, because I know some people are really grossed out by that. Like, they cannot handle blood and stuff. And, like, well, I mean, I have that damage. Try not to show the other damage. But even though back in my younger days, and still very much now, one of my favorite things to do on social media is, if I got like a really bloody injury, was to just post a picture of it. Like, I loved doing that as a youngster, and even as like a slightly seasoned adult now, is like I love posting pictures of my injuries. But as a VTuber, I know some people really care about the immersion and such, but as for me, I'm just like, yeah, I get hurt, I bleed, I'm just like anyone else. Also, getting bloodied is very anime character. Like, getting all bloodied and bruised and overcoming the challenge with hard work and guts is super anime. Should always be celebrated. Hard work and guts should always be celebrated. Actually, that reminds me of one of my favorite quotes in all of anime. And it's from Hajime no Ippo. And the quote is shared when Takamura is undergoing like his world championship training. The quote goes as, well, wait, I gotta think about this. I gotta think about the quote. Sorry. Not all those... So the quote is, not all those who work hard succeed, but all those who succeed work hard. And I love that quote. I also think it's very anime. So, I'm gonna take my... here. Suppose my lid, because I'm gonna give this a little bit longer, and I'm gonna pick this lid up and set it off to the side. Then I'm gonna oh, sorry, but I'm gonna stick a fork in my lasagna, and I'm gonna see how well it is. Okay, let's go, chat. Are you unbalanced? We're unbalanced. Frick. Ooh, toasty. Very toasty. Ooh, we're getting this out. Oh boy. Oh boy. Ooh. I need to get that. There's a lot of things that need to happen real quick. Ooh. It comes off. I need a different glove. Glove with more. Oh my gosh. It looks burnt, but it actually smells amazing. Smells amazing. But I'm glad I pulled that when I did. Oh boy. So, recipe calls for the last bit of cheese. Yeah, towards the end. So, I'm gonna grab cheese. Give this a nice sprinkle. Actually, wait a second. I have not actually did the test yet. I'm gonna give this a test before. Granted, looking at it, I really hope we're done. But here we go. Time for the reveal. It's smoothly winning. Okay, okay. I'm gonna be ambitious. Ooh, there's a little bit of hard there. There. Okay. Interesting. Super interesting. Okay. Oh. What I just did, I basically, so I stabbed it in a couple places. A few places. Well, I think I did 5 stabs. 3 stabs went clean. I could feel it cleanly go through all the layers of the pasta. Then 2 of the stabs felt like they hit hard, uncooked lasagna noodles. So I definitely think I probably went a little ultra with the heat. I think that's my weakness here. If I went a little bit less with the heat, I would have been solid with the lasagna. I think I may have underestimated. Look at cold. I smoked a glove again. So I accidentally set the lid on one of my gloves and I really perfect. Okay. Oh. We're done. We're done cooking. We can now get a nice fire going. And this has got to rest for a while. But it works. I just wanted to make sure it wasn't... like, it wasn't burning the But yeah, I'm gonna set the lid on it just to let some of that heat just stay in there. The lid's probably only gonna stay on there for about 5 minutes or so, and then I'll take it off. Woo! Yeah. We gotta cook lasagna. So far, preliminary investigations have led me to believe that we may have cooked it a little bit too much. A little too quickly. Well, we cooked it a bit too high of a heat. Honestly, it's not the worst thing in the world. The thing is, I didn't do it perfectly. But I took advantage. Well, I took care of myself and I stated, this is me doing this for the first time. So, because I did like 5 tests around the pot, and 3 out of the 5 my pasta was cooked through, 2 weren't. So and I did have like burnt stuff on top. Burnt stuff on top was probably being a little too generous with coals. It's fine. That's a lesson for another time. I am super excited to do a lot more cooking in this. If I can get a surface to work dough on, we're totally doing calzone in this. I'm trying to think, what other Italian food do I want to do? Because we've done... I do spaghetti with meat sauce. Let me check. I need to check something. I need to check the Campfire Cooking playlist. Did I do... Because I feel like I... Yes, I did do spaghetti. I've done spaghetti. Okay. That was my... So I've done spaghetti. I've done pizza. Pizza is going to happen again as a revenge match because pizza 1 did end up a little bit burnt, but I did not. But I did that in a cast iron skillet, not a Dutch oven. Really radiating heat, amazingly. Which probably the reason stuff got a little bit on the toasty side. But yeah. So this is gonna like rest for like a... Actually, no. I know it's time to let this rest without... I need to let... Smells good. Smells real good. Sorry you guys can't see it so well. Actually. Eat. Good amount getting rated off this pan, but... Woohoo! I am stoked to actually get it. Yeah, handles really handleable. This sucks because I can't... It sucks because I can't get you guys like a better like view of it. On second thought, I have an idea. Let's see. Ooh. There she is. Which it looks a little toasty on top, but otherwise I'm excited. I'm excited to dig into this. Um, you guys probably can't tell, but I certainly can. Oi, oi. So, the sides of this pod are definitely far too hot to like actually like. This is just gonna have to sit off to the side for a while. But eventually it will chill. And then I will plate up and serve. And then when I plate up and serve, I'm gonna take some bites. Gonna also have a beer with me. Final beer tonight. And talk about the experience. Food. And be like, okay. What I learned. Here's the good, the bad, and the ugly. Currently so far, ugly seems to be it was definitely a little bit too cooked from the top. I definitely had a little bit too much. Well, I definitely have some stuff like inside that was not cooked through, which is fine. This is a decent amount like area touch, so I'm just gonna let this sit and do its thing and like yap for a while, because yeah, I still have a while to go before. But I'm excited. I'm excited though, because it is like 3 hours past my normal lunch. Well, my standard dinner time. I did eat a snack when I got home from work because oh man, I just got whiff off of hot. Smells amazing. Smells amazing. Did I do it perfect? No. This is gonna be good. I'm optimistic that's gonna be yes. We'll see. We'll see. I gotta wait. I gotta wait. I gotta wait. Wait. Whoa. Ew. I just saw an amber like shoot past me and go into the garage. Like, whoa. Not into the garage. There's a lot of wood in there that can burn. Ah. Goodness gracious. Ah. Have lasagna. And I'm going to eventually have a beer. But I'm also going to have some water. Because hydration's important. Ooh. More out. Cool. Yeah. Ooh. Future plans. Really future plans, by the way. This is not happening anytime soon. But I would love to do a stream where there are people who do like, well, there's a thing where like some VTubers will do like a shower stream or something. I want to do, so you know those oil drums, and well, here's the thing. There's a particular scene in Girls und Panzer. And in that scene, the characters from the show are taking oil drum baths, where it's basically an oil drum with a wood fire underneath it. And that's like the heat for the bathwater. And they're like bathing, but they're also like looking at the stars while they bathe. I would love to kind of recreate that scene by basically doing a oil drum bath while also stargazing. And I do have a telescope, and if I could figure out some way to like hook a camera up to the telescope, and we could like stargaze, and I can get a warm bath by the power of fire, that would be love. That would be love. I would love that. That'd be great. It would also be really weird on brand for me. Wait, wait. Okay. Thing is, sweet. I may have definitely underestimated cast iron. Oh boy, but it has been. It's been. I love it when I big breath of air smokes into the lungs. Like, bleh. But yeah. So, it's been over 15 minutes, but I really want to wait a little bit longer before I actually like dig into this. Because I really want it to cool down. I really want it to cool. You know what? Between plating up, probably gonna have to wait for it to cool when I plate it up. Probably should really consider. Okay, so I'm gonna do a few tests of a quadrant. Ooh. Oh wow. So that's hard there. Okay, I did a lot of stabs just now and only got one that was like hard, so this is pretty cooked. Stuff's cooked, man. So I'm gonna... Oh, yeah, the edges. That edge flipped up. So I'm gonna try and take... Oh! Look at that steam. Come on, Miss Italian. Whoa! Whoa! I don't want food on my mic stand. Okay. Okay. I need to do a shuffle. My pasta's gonna... Serving thing's gonna go there. Da. There it is. Our cooked lasagna. Ah. Okay. My water. Granted, there's like steam coming off this. I mean, I want to kind of let this like rest for a little bit before I like dig in. But before I dig in, I'm gonna enjoy my first lasagna with... Oh wait, an Italian Pilsner. Italian Pilsner, named Gondola, from Mild Wide Brewing Company. So, yeah, cheers. Okay. So, being pretty steamy. Give this a healthy evaluation. Okay. So, first bite. Mm. Good. Good. Really good. Let me take another. What? Pretty happy with it. Pretty happy with that. Yeah. Okay. Okay. I've got 3 bites in. Actually, wait. You should have a little bit of this. Okay. So, evaluation time. Pros. It is cooked through. It's cooked through. It's well cooked. It's good. I do have some burnt bits to it. Actually, so I have some burnt bits to the lasagna. Honestly, it's kind of fine. It's slightly burnt. It's not like super burnt. Good. Flavor. Overall good. Has a really good strong onion flavor. I use plenty of onion. I feel like I'm correct in I did not use enough marinara sauce. I felt like I genuinely think I could have been more generous with the marinara sauce. Recipe called for 4 ounces, 24 ounces add. That's what I used. Next time, lasagna. Sorry. Next time, lasagna. I'm throwing more marinara sauce at you. Especially because using 24 ounces of marinara sauce to 1 pound of ground beef, I feel like is a really high marinara sauce to ground beef ratio. I would want to bump up the marinara sauce ratio. That's my per. I'm not a super big fan of meat. Meat is a supporting character, which the ground beef in this does play a good role as a supporting character. It's just, I think it's a little bit too far up and forward as a supporting character. I'm like, ground beef, hey, ground beef, dude, you're currently acting like you're basically the best friend character of the protagonist in this movie, and I kind of want to like bump you back a bit, you know? Let's see, what would be a good role for someone who doesn't get as much? Ooh, I know. Excellent role. Let's take you from best friend of the protagonist and make you best friend of the antagonist. Like, just bump you back in terms of screen time, in terms of your role in this movie, play, what have you. That's where ground beef needs to be. Am I disappointed in this? No. I do have a little bit of undercooked pasta, but that's honestly, it's not like super undercooked or anything. I'm generally good. Not a whole lot to worry about. Yeah. I should have brought some of my basil, dehydrated basil that I have, because that would be a really nice garnish for this. Yeah, honestly, going with the out of 10 scale, I'll rate this a solid 7. This is a solid 7 out of 10. Like, it's good. It's good. It has some imperfections, and it has some things that could be better. I think it would be better with a little bit of basil. Recipe call for, like, parsley. But I am going to take a few more. I am going to take a few more bites. Just to further evaluate this. Oh. One moment. So, another demerit to this. Really the biggest demerit to it, and that the like crust part of the lasagna got burnt some. It's made it kind of chewy. But it's not so burnt where it's like it's not so burnt where you're like just biting into charcoal or something. Yeah. I firmly consider this a solid goop. Like, we're not entering territory. We're not entering in like high levels of good. High levels of good would be like pot of ufu, which when I made that, I was just like, well, honestly, that was probably like solid great, because it was just like, whoa, this is good. I like this. Let's do this more, which I did. I did it a second time. Hey, there are mistakes. There are some lessons, but overall, solid good. Solid good. I have a bit too much, and the burnt seems to be in the crust, so I may have just perhaps been a little too generous with my coals on top of the Dutch oven. What? For a guy making a dish for the first time, this is the first time in my life I've made lasagna. I'm a middle-aged man and proud of it. This is a solid good. Happy. I'm really happy with this. This was, boy, like really good. So, I'm excited to dig into this. Like, legitimately dig into this. So, in the interest of stuffing my face, I must end stream now. Well, yeah, in the now-ish time frame. So, I would like to thank anyone and everyone for tuning in. Thank you very much. I hope you've at least enjoyed a little bit of today's stream, and I hope you have a wonderful morning, evening, night, whatever it is, wherever you are. And yeah, this is Sugi Yamagawa here, and I'm trying my best to live my best life out here, and I think you should too. And with that, see you all next one. Bye-bye.